Apollo is the clear-cut winner of round 9 of Ragnarok, where he was able to defeat Leonidas, as the match runtime is 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The sun god was able to get the win for the gods, as the score is 5-4. As both of these fighters were able to showcase great abilities, as Apollo has a broken ability which actually helped him win the match, but Leonidas showcased his toughness and his experience during this whole entire fight. So we start off where we left off from the last chapter, as Apollo is using the thread of Artemis to go crazy, and because he's going to do his next attack, which happens to have the threads transform into this giant light which blinds everyone for a quick second. And where Apollo's shadow has actually become bigger and enormous, and then it starts to form this giant black goo, where a statue of Artemis has appeared behind Apollo, which happens to be one of his great sacred treasures, and it's called the Moonlight of Artemis, which the statue is supposed to be a replica of his twin sibling. And the last time he was able to use this ability was when he was fighting against the giants. And because of Greek legends and mythology, it says that the twin gods Artemis and Apollo were able to strike down the giants with their bow and arrow. And we see that the statues is using the threads and the light to form the bow and arrow, which was very enormous, and people were wondering how would Apollo will be able to carry and use this weapon, but we're able enough to see how he's able to do it, especially since we didn't see any arrows. And so Apollo, he showcased why he is the sun god, because Apollo didn't waste any time on attacking Leonidas, as he used pieces of the sunlight to use as arrows, because he's able to materialize the sunlight into an arrow. And this is Apollo's golden arrow, which is swift like a light. And if a human were to be able to get hit by this arrow, they will die instantly before they even feel pain. So this attack is very powerful, because not only that Apollo is able to materialize sunlight, it is super fast. It goes as fast as the speed of light. So even if you blink, you won't even notice that you actually get hit, because that's just how fast and how powerful this attack is. Because not only that is able to pierce through Apollo, but it's able enough to pierce through and burned off pieces of other people as well in the audience and the arena. And so while Apollo, he's throwing these arrows, it looks like it's one arrow, but then it's like multiple arrows. And not only that Leonidas got hit by the arrow, not once, not twice, but a whole bunch of times, because he got hit in the chest, he got hit in the arm, he got hit in the leg, he got hit in the abdomen, anywhere of his body he got hit by these arrows. But Leonidas, he is standing still. He's still trying to get himself together, but he falls down on his knees and he's all bloody. And this is why Brihilda called him a moron, because before Apollo was able to release the arrow or shoot the arrow, Leonidas was ready to go on ahead and take it. And honestly, that was a bad decision. So of course, Leonidas, he get himself back together, and he used the experience that he had in the battlefield throughout his whole entire life, because this is where it came in handy. Because Apollo is stating that, hey, I'm going to put you out of your misery, because I'm just going to end this now. And so he shoots the arrow, but then Leonidas, he was able enough to deflect the arrow, and the arrow came right back to Apollo, scratching or like destroying and injuring his arm. And the light was able to pierce through the statue of Artemis, and everyone's in shock that the fact that this human was able to deflect this attack. And everyone is wondering how he was able to do this. Was he able enough to see this? And Zeus stated that whatever this hell this man went through, he just doing this out of pure instinct, because there is no possible way that a normal human will know how to deflect this attack. So he says that this man, Leonidas, is a true warrior. And honestly, to go on with Apollo's attack, Zeus also stated that this attack won't work on him because he's able to like freeze time and whatnot. But either way, everyone's in shock to see that Apollo has been injured, and it actually illustrated that both of these guys are hitting their limits, because not only that Leonidas, he is pierced so many times and kind of losing blood, but also as well the injuries that Apollo have received from Leonidas' attack and the deflection of getting hit by his own attack actually did some damage to him. So they're both at their wits' ends. So we get dialogue between these characters, and Leonidas is stating that seriously, saying something like, I command you or I will let you suffer. What kind of stupid thing to say? Do you really think that I will be graceful to receive such word from a god? You're dealing with me. As Apollo, he's going on ahead and instigate it and continue on with the insult, saying that you are a twisted motherfucker. That's exactly why I really hate you. As Apollo, he is just grinning and he's loving this energy. And Apollo says, still, it's a little bit beautiful. As Leonidas says that you becoming a real man. So Apollo, he asks Leonidas, he's like, let me ask you something. Why do you fight so hard? Is it for revenge against me or is it for mankind? As Leonidas says that I don't really care about either. Right now, it's time to fight. We don't get to choose how we are born. So how we live or how we die, it is up to us. I follow only my own soul, the most willful man in the world. This is Spartan, and I have been armed for it. As Apollo, he is just loving this energy. He's loving this answer. He's loving what Leonidas is spilling. And it's kind of funny though, because even though Leonidas says that it wasn't for revenge, that was kind of partly why, because of the fact that is that he was really getting mad at the fact that, you know, these other groups of like Greeks, they wanted to follow the rules of Apollo, even though they misinterpreted his rules. But he's just like, yeah, no, the reason why I want to go on ahead and fight Apollo is because of the fact that his dumb rule is the reason why we almost got annihilated, and all these people want to follow his damn rules. So it's just kind of very funny. But at the same time, Leonidas, he really showcased a great answer. So then everyone from Spartans, they're all cheering up Leonidas, they're all hyping him up, and then Leonidas, he goes on ahead and he changed his shield into the shield of truth, and this is where they're going to go on the ultimate last attack, as Leonidas is going to show the unstoppable alignment defense. As we see Apollo, he goes on ahead and he used the statue to go on ahead and launch himself. So because he is going to be the bow and arrow to go on ahead and attack and try to finish off Leonidas. So they're both charging towards each other as they're both building momentum. You can see the aura between these two, and it's just really incredible as both Apollo and Leonidas goes charged towards each other. And this was just beautiful artwork, just seeing the aurora and just the energy that's flowing between these two and how they're able to launch. And it was just a beautiful sequence as you just continuously seeing that the arms of Apollo starts to form as an arrow, and then you see Leonidas' shield is forming into like this giant fireball as they both charge towards each other and they do a huge clash. But suddenly we see that Apollo, he was able to damage the shield and he's able enough to get closer to Leonidas. But Leonidas, he's not giving up at all. He continued on fighting and he's trying to go on ahead and strike Apollo. But Apollo, he is able enough to go on ahead and get the last punch and was able to punch through Leonidas. As Leonidas, he is just smirking, smiling, saying, seriously. As always, he always make that annoying face. As Spartans and everyone else are crying because of the fact that their leader is actually dying and is breaking into pieces. As he says, did you guys see what has happened? As one of the leaders says, yes, Lord Leonidas, you have always been, since we always had met. You have always been the greatest Spartans ever. And he says, I see. I am relieved that we are Spartans. We are the strongest. As he goes on ahead and he falls down, and the narration says that everyone praised the back of the man who rebels against faith, and he lived his life. All right. And then you see Apollo, he's admiring and he's respecting Leonidas, because not only that he went against faith, he actually went to his own rules and he pushed himself hard. And he says that you guys were the peak of beauty. As the chapter ends, as round 9, Apollo is the winner. And that it was just a beautiful ending for a okay chapter, because how this whole round was very, very quick. This round was very, very quick and it was very fast, but it had a beautiful and strong ending. So far, like I said, I feel like this battle goes on to like pretty much the okay route. And honestly, you can just really tell that Apollo was going to win because he had great character development. And not only that he had great character development, like, but his skills and his powers and his abilities and how he was able to fight against Leonidas, you could just tell, like, yeah, Apollo was going to win this battle. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. Are you guys very, very happy with the results? Are you guys sad that Leonidas died? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like and subscribe. And remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I also have some merch that I'm selling. It's down in the description and it's down in the pinned comment. So go ahead and check it out. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.